What's up, y'all? So today is Comically Boston episode 73. It is June 19th, 2023. It is a Monday, and this weekend I did the Flash movie, and I watched Extraction 2, and there's some other little news, so we're going to get into it. First, let's get into some news. We got a first look at the Avatar: The Last Airbender coming out 2024, and it looks better than the M. Night Shyamalan version. I'm just saying that, you know, a little Aang here. Then you got, Katara, and then you got Sokka underneath, standing in front of what probably is Appa, I'm guessing, live-action Appa. And then you got Zuko over there bottom right in the Fire Nation. So, I'm excited for this one. So far, like, you know, the capturing the look of what the show really looked like, pretty spot on right here. Like, the costume that Aang's in is, like, exactly how I remember animated Aang's looking. He's got the bow, he's got the tattoo, you know, like, I'm here for it. I'm, you know, obviously I got to see the trailer and I got to see, you know, more about the movie, but so far so good from these 4 images. I'm like, I'm here. But let's get into the Flash, shall we? And then at the end we'll talk about Extraction. Go check out my movie reviews. Those are my quick, you know, little shorter form, talking about the movies and just throwing out my thoughts, not necessarily spoiling everything about the movie. So this will be more spoilers. This will be more in-depth talking of what I saw, what I liked, what I didn't like. Where the movie reviews will be shorter form, and they will be, you know, just extra content for the people that are actual movie lovers like myself. And if you are, I suggest you go check me out on LETTERBOXD and follow me on there, or send me a message on Twitter at BigCamYouTube. Recommend some new movies to me. So far, The Flash has a B cinema score and is having a pretty good time on Rotten Tomatoes right now. It is 66% review score from the critics with 280 reviews, and then 1,000 plus reviews. It's sitting at 86%. 2 hours and 24-minute movie. It does feel a little bit long at certain points, but like it does do a pretty good job of moving you along. You're like, damn, really? This is already over? I gotta say, Michael Keaton, Batman, great. Sasha Calle, Batman, great. But the movie starts and it jumps right into it. Like, it starts with the clock, and it's like, oh, okay, we're about to get into some time stuff where we're gonna be feeling time, and time's gonna be moving fast when he's running, and it's gonna feel real slow when he's not, right? Like, and something that Ezra does that a lot of people were like, I didn't really buy it. I didn't like his younger version. And I thought it was perfect, because the Barry we know is crazy and spastic and weird and awkward, but he's also been through tremendous amounts of trauma. He became the Flash through getting stuck by lightning. He lost his mother. He lost his father to the justice system. So, like, he's been through a lot. And if that same kid doesn't go through all that from a young age, he's still weird and awkward and all that, but now he's not self-conscious and, like, closed in and traumatized and, like, kept himself into a bubble and he's alone. Like, our Barry didn't really have friends. He was awkward. He was, like, always by himself. He was trying to avoid people. This Barry, the 18-year-old Barry, has gone to college, thinks he's cool, has friends, has people that he knows. Like, it's a completely different universe. And this Barry's, like, still young as shit, so obviously he hasn't figured it out. He hasn't been through the Justice League. The world hasn't ended from Zod. You know, like, things haven't happened. But I really liked it, because I was like, I just believe Ezra's Barry, you know, like, I didn't necessarily see Ezra, I saw Barry Allen, and what I believe Barry Allen is the guy that's the fastest man on the planet. Like, he can literally go and run to Australia and run back, like, over the water. No plane, just run to Australia and run back, and I would still be sneezing, blowing my nose. Like, literally, oh, you just went to Australia? Welcome back. Like, like, it's just insane to think about it all. Like, that this man is literally fast as shit, but the DC universe still has secret identities, like Superman's Clark Kent, you know, Batman's Bruce Wayne, much like Spider-Man's Peter Parker, where most of the MCU right now is Iron Man, Tony Stark. People know who Iron Man is, right? So they just like kind of got rid of the secret identities. I like that they brought Spider-Man's secret identity back in for his next movie after No Way Home, but that's we're talking DC. So in this movie though, like he figures out he can run back in time, and then our Bruce, his original Bruce, Ben Affleck Bruce, warns him not to do that. There's this whole fight scene. Like honestly, the Bat costume could have been a little bit better, but I did like seeing like a little bit of gray and blue in a daytime Batman. Like that was interesting. Seeing him get bat potted out of the plane, that was pretty cool. The one little scene, Wonder Woman shows up, she like lassos up his hand, Barry admits he's a virgin, it's like, oh, you know, like, Batman's like, oh, I would never, I'm too proud to ever thank anyone, and she's like, oh, you just thank me? Cool. And he's like, still got it wrapped around his hand, he's like, my costume is a symbol of what happened to me when I was a kid. He's like, fuck, I gotta take this off. You know, and Barry helps him, and then he's like, oh, God, I know what sex is. I just haven't experienced it. You know, and Barry's like, ah, shit. And Batman's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry. I didn't hear it. Don't worry. Like, they just try and brush over it. There's quite a few funny parts in this movie that had me laughing that I was just like, I don't know if it's just random as shit or if it's just funny as hell, like, and just good writing. But, like, the baby shower, that one threw me off, because all of a sudden I was like, oh, those babies look kind of CGI, but then I was like, well, if the babies are falling out of the window, they're not going to be real babies, obviously. So the babies start falling, I was like, oh no, all the babies are dead. And I was like, I wonder if there's a really fast guy that's going to save them. Didn't know how he was going to save them, but all of a sudden he looks and goes, oh no, baby shower. And I was like, oh God. I'm like, they just fucking renamed baby showers to babies falling out of skies instead of that stupid party that women like to think men should go to. The dumbest thing ever. Baby's not even here yet. Let's have a baby shower. Just, why don't you just say, why don't you come over and give me gifts for my fucking baby that's not here yet? Like, it's your fucking kid. You get the shit. Like, the fuck? That's why I'm not having kids. Like, I don't need that shit. I don't need a baby shower right now. I got other shit going on, like watching The Flash. Like, more important. But I like Barry's baby shower more. So Barry, you know, baby showers, does his thing, fixes it, goes back, and the guy's still making his fucking peanut butter, jelly, honey, raisin sandwich, something like that, with cheese. He had quite an order, but like, but it's funny because Barry's like, everyone's like, all right, this is an almost daily schedule, and like, we don't think about it because, you know, if I go to sit in traffic, I'm sitting there for 45 minutes. This guy, if he's sitting in a line for a bagel for 2 minutes, 2 minutes to us is not that long. I've already been filming for like 8 minutes, you know, so like 2 minutes is not that long, but for him that feels like an eternity, because 2 minutes he could run around the world 5 times and then come back and still be in line waiting for his bagel. Like, he literally went, saved Gotham, a town away, fixed everything over there, fucking saved the babies, you know, saved the electrical problem in the basement, like, did a whole shit in another city, and then ran back, and the guy hadn't even made his bagel yet. You know, like, granted, he was taking his sweet-ass time, but still, you know, like, that's how fast it was. The guy couldn't even make a bagel before friggin' Flash could save a city. Like, the guy's very, very fast. And, you know, I honestly enjoy this movie more than, like, the more I think about it, I really enjoyed this movie. Like, and it's so close to a 4.5 star movie. And honestly, the only way that this movie could be a 4.5 star movie for me is if they go back when they release this on like HBO Max or Max now. If they polish all the CGI that they said was an artistic choice by the director. And I believe Muschietti, like, he was not just, like, when they went to the flashbacks and they go to the multiverses and they see all the different shit and all the different cameos and all that shit. A lot of the cameos, people were like, why is this weird? Like, it's like CGI, but it's like, is it not? Like, it feels like it's live action, but it's definitely CGI. But then they also made it, like, look kind of clay-ish. Like, it was, apparently it was an artistic choice. But for me, all I'm saying is if they polish it one way or the other, if they go lean into the artistic side and they really, like, go for Muschietti's vision and they make all that shit look like how he wanted, that's one thing. But if they really want to impress people and blow people away with this movie, make that particular part look as good as when both Barrys are on screen. Because every time I saw two Barrys, or when the Flash was moving, the CGI looked amazing. But when specifically we look out into the Chrono Bowl and we see, you know, Henry Cavill, you know, we see the past, we see Batman going, oh, so you're fast, throwing the Batarang at him. We see, you know, all of that shit. If we see that shit, and then we see, you know, Christopher Reeves, we see Adam West Batman, we see the original Superman, George Reeves, we see Christopher Reeves had a Supergirl with him, we see, there's so many people, the original Flash we see with this little, like, helmet with the electric bolts on the side, like, oh, man, like, and just for a second, let's talk about Barry's costume, his new costume with the I actually really like how it looks with the red and the yellow stripes when it's activated, and it's got the red, yellow stripes, but when he's just kind of standing there and it's not activating the yellow, it just kind of looks way too red, and you just see, like, his abs and, like, a little bulge, and it's like, shouldn't he have a belt? Like, they put, like, these two little electric bolts on his hips. Instead, they should have put, like, a belt, kind of like how animated or, like, comic book Flash looks. But either way, the suit looks pretty good. Some people didn't like how the other suit looked when it was, you know, second Barry, and he has to take the suit on the left here, where he spray paints it red and puts an electric bolt on it. It's the Batman suit, but, like, I thought it was a unique way to be like, oh, wow, we're in Batman's universe. We already saw that he had 5 suits. He's only one man. He doesn't need all 5. Bruce tells him to wear it, so people are, like, mad that he, like, took a Batman suit and made it a Flash suit. Well, we already have a Flash suit, and this Flash suit was made by other Batmans. So now we have, in a different universe, that we have Batman taking care of Flash again. So it's like, there's certain things that I was like, oh, it works, and it's like, okay. And the funniest part to me, like, when young Ezra puts the cowl on and is messed up and he turns and looks, I died at that. Like, but Sasha Calle in her Supergirl costume, she looks amazing. She kills it, and I think she's so gorgeous. And if she is the Supergirl that carries on and goes into Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow for James Gunn's DCU, I would not be mad. You know, she comes back, fights Zod, and that whole epic battle, and she's like, I like seeing Michael Shannon Zod back, but did I need him back? Not really. They just kind of needed a big bad to be in the other universe, but also kind of tie into, like, the Snyder Universe stuff. We see Henry Cavill for a brief second. He's fighting a volcano in Guatemala. Like, there's certain things that you're like, wow, okay. Like, and then he's in this different universe. He can't find Superman. He can't find Wonder Woman. He can't find Cyborg. He can't find Aquaman. He calls Aquaman's dad. It's Tamora Morrison. Like, friggin' Boba Fett. You're like, oh shit, what? And he looks over at the couch. It's not the Queen of Atlantis at all. It's some gross woman. He's like, yeah, no, name my dog Arthur. And he's like, oh, you don't have a son? Oh, okay. All right, bye. It is what it is. The new Batwing in this new Batman costume, I think Keaton kills it the whole time, but it has that little pod in the back, and it, like, can spin, so, like, the inside cockpit doesn't spin, but the ship spins, so he keeps having this rotating windshield. Oh man, there's certain things in this movie that I, like, saw that I was like, oh, that just works for me. Like, it looks so good. Like, the way that, like, the lightning was yellow in this new suit and then blue when it was in the younger version of Barry. And then you still get, like, a Batman, like, and everyone was like, oh, this is just a Batman movie and a Supergirl movie. No, this is very, very much so a Flash movie, and Batman and Supergirl are just terrific supporting characters in this movie, and I think it does a great job. We even get Aquaman at the end. We'll talk about that more in a second, but I gotta talk more about these cameos that happened when they looked into the multiverse, and you see, all of a sudden, at one point, you see a giant spider getting shot with laser vision, and then it turns around and it's Nicolas Cage! Like, and that's a throwback for the people that don't know to Nicolas Cage almost had a Tim Burton Superman movie back in the day, and it got canceled, but it was legitimately in the works, and the producer of it had some interesting, weird notes for Kevin Smith, and it was like he had to fight a spider, he couldn't fly, I didn't want to see him in that suit, so they let him fly, they put him in the suit, and they let him fight the giant spider, and it still worked. Like, it looked like a good scene, and it was still, like, one of those things where you're like, cutting through the multiverse, and you're like, what am I watching right now? And all of a sudden it cuts to Nick Cage, and then I was like shocked in the audience, but I looked around, nobody was like, wow, but because it was somewhere in between Nick Cage and that clay animation. So I think if they just polish all that multiverse animation to look perfect, like just polished, you know what I mean? Like make everyone look like we're actually watching them fight instead of this like artistic chronoverse universe thing that he's looking at. Like just make it perfect. Let us see the universes and see everything that you want us to see. When you cut by Adam West, make us see the Bat car in the background. Like I get it, it's for nostalgia, but there's also a point to it. Like everything that we have seen is true and is canon in a multiverse. It doesn't necessarily have to be canon to the universe that we're in, but they're all canon in the multiverse some way, somehow, shape, or form. And in the real world, they're all canon because they've all been Batman, they've all been Superman, they've all had their chances to do different things. Grant Gustin from the Flash TV show got to be Flash, you know, and then they crossed over in that whole shit. Like, I didn't watch that Flash because it was on CW, and I am not a fan of CW shows, but it is what it is. But overall, I gave this movie a 3.5 stars. I honestly think it could be a 4 or 4.5 stars if they polish the CGI in certain spots, like the Chrono Ball. And the Chrono Ball itself, when they're running in it, that's not the problem. When they look at the universes and they look out from it, that's the problem. At least for me, that was like the only thing that really, I think, diminishes the score for me. As far as story-wise, and like the story about his mom, and there's one question that left me like, alright, so this was supposed to reset the DC universe. If this reset the DC universe, and we don't see Ben Affleck at the end, and we don't see Michael Keaton, and Barry changes so right, the whole movie is Barry goes back and puts the can of tomatoes that his mom sent his dad to the store to get. And if he puts the can of tomatoes in her carriage and she doesn't forget the tomatoes, his dad never leaves and the mom never dies. That's the whole story. When the mom does die in real life and the dad goes to jail for killing the mom, even though he didn't, they try and free him, and the video surveillance footage from the store, his head's looking down the whole time. So Barry, after fixing the changed universe that he did, still slightly changed it. If you listen to Ben Affleck's Bruce at the very beginning, when he's talking about the multiverse, you could step on a blade of grass and you have no idea the consequences that could cause in another reality. So Barry goes, oh, I can't change time and save my mother's life. It needs to happen. But maybe I could save my father's life still and get him out of prison for something as simple as putting the tomato cans from the third shelf to the top shelf. And so now his father looks up, grabs the can, and he gets freed from prison. But, so the father's free now, but that also wasn't supposed to happen in Barry's universe. And now he's closer to what his original timeline was, but it still has changed things in the universe. So now we get, who do we get? We get this man walks on the screen, and everyone in the theater was like, what the fuck? George freaking Clooney, Batman, is back? Bat nipples? Bink! Bat nipples is back? No way, dude. No way is George Clooney back. Honestly, Muschietti is the director of this film. And he's directing The Brave and the Bold in the next movie. If George Clooney is the older Batman in The Brave and the Bold, and he has a Robin or a Dick Grayson or a Jason Todd or Damian Wayne, whatever it is. If he was, I honestly don't think I'd be mad, because it's been a long time and George is a very good actor. So like, obviously that first Batman movie with the bat nipples wasn't great, but like, it was still like, it's still an entertaining movie. You can't tell me that Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't entertaining Mr. Freeze. He might not be a very good Mr. Freeze, but it's the Ice Age. There's certain things that are funny and a good time in that movie still. Like, but I think if they take a more serious route, and I don't know, man, but if this resets the universe, why do you tease us with George Clooney if that's just a joke? And then if that is just a joke, why do you show the post-credit scene where he's the same thing Barry did in the other universes? He's trying to find the Justice League members. He actually finds Arthur Curry in the post-credit scene, and you see Aquaman and Barry at a bar. Aquaman's drunk as shit. He falls down face first in a puddle, and it's water, so it's his home. So he sits there face down, and he just like can breathe, and he just kind of dies. And you know, he doesn't die, but he's alive in the universe with Barry. So this movie made a little bit over 60 mil opening weekend. Apparently that's not very good, and honestly it should be doing better, but there's still things like Transformers is out right now. Across the Spider-Verse is still out in theaters right now, so there's people still trying to see that stuff. I'm pretty sure Fast X is still in the theaters. Little Mermaid's still in the theaters. You got you know, Elementals just came out. You got next week, you got Oppenheimer, Barbie. So I just don't think this is a very good time for this movie to make money, considering there's so many options. Because if this was the only thing out, people would be like, all right, well, let's go see The Flash. It's out. But it's not the only thing out. So you get just options. I'm pretty sure Guardians is still in theaters. Like, there's a lot of things that are in theaters right now. And Flash isn't necessarily the one that's selling out theaters. So if it doesn't sell out a theater and it only has 2 seats bought, they'll probably refund those 2 tickets and be like, find a different showtime. We're going to put a different movie in this theater because maybe another theater's selling out. You know, like another showtime people want to go see. You know, Little Mermaid for the little girls and shit is making a ton of money. And, you know, rightfully so. Other than the people that thought that a black mermaid was a problem. Well, mermaids are fake, so they could be black, white, blue, fucking orange. It doesn't matter. They're fucking fake. And people are like, my mermaid's white with red hair. It's a cartoon. Cry about it, you fucking pussies. Jesus Christ. Poor Hallie, fucking whatever her name is. Poor black girl playing Little Mermaid. She's fucking killing it as Little Mermaid, too. And they're like, man, she's black. What fucking loser. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. She's black, no white. So fucking what? Donald Trump was our president. What, you gonna tell me Barack was worse because he was black? Get the fuck out of my face. Barack's still my president. But, oh God. Just get myself all riled up over here. It's alright, guys. So, you know, Michael Shannon, you get Sasha Calle, you get Bruce Wayne back as Ben Affleck, George Clooney, Adam West. There's so many. Batman, Superman. You get Nick Cage, Superman. You get Henry Cavill briefly in, you know, cutscenes. You get Christopher Reeves. You get so many. And obviously there's going to be a new Superman for James Gunn's new Superman. But honestly, if James Gunn's new universe is going to be a brand new Superman, maybe Barry Allen comes back. Maybe Barry Allen ends up in a different universe. Maybe that's the whole point of Barry resetting the universe, is that there's going to be, maybe we keep Aquaman, right? Because I don't think we're going to get a cooler Aquaman than Jason Momoa, to be perfectly honest. The Aquaman from the comics and everything else from the animated TV shows, very nerdy. So the Aquaman we get with Jason Momoa, stud, you know? Like, can't say he's not a stud. And so, you know, if we keep Aquaman, obviously new Superman. If we keep Barry, I'm not mad. We get new Green Lanterns. If we, obviously, probably going to get a new Cyborg, because that whole thing with that dude was a mess. So, you know, and if we keep Wonder Woman, I wouldn't be mad at it. So if we keep Wonder Woman, Barry, Flash, you know, like if we keep those guys and then redo some other people, would people be mad that it's not the original Justice League, but it's clearly supposed to be a different universe since Barry just fucked up the universe? Like, I don't know. But I don't necessarily think that James Gunn's diving fully into a multiverse from the beginning. I think he's trying to reset this whole DC shit, start over from the beginning. So I think there might even be a new Batman, Blue Beetle, new Superman, and then we'll go from there. And probably a new Wonder Woman, new Supergirl, new Green Lanterns. All I know is I have faith in James Gunn to build a universe of characters that not only he loves, but that we love. So I'm super excited for it. Extraction 2, I gave 4 out of 5 stars. Just as good as the first one, if not slightly better. The action kills it. Chris Hargraves kills it. Chris Hemsworth always kills it. And yeah, if you guys want to talk more about that, or hear more about what I got to say about Extraction 2, there will be a review video coming out on the channel very, very soon. And stay tuned for more movie reviews. Those are going to be coming out, more shorter content, you know, slow it down for you guys. Some people want to hear just about certain things. You know, some of you might not want to watch this whole podcast, but for the people that are here now, 20-something minutes in, still here listening to me, you guys are my besties. I appreciate you. You guys are the people that I do this for. Honestly, I have no idea who you are, but thank you guys for watching. Please like this video. Follow me on YouTube. Or on Instagram or Twitter or Letterboxd. My links will be in the description below. Smash the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. Stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you guys later this week, and we'll be talking Wednesday. Secret Invasion comes out, so stay hyped for that. More Marvel stuff, more Marvel talks. Secret Invasion right around the corner, so we got, what, 6 weeks of Secret Invasion coming up. Can't wait. I've been dying for a Marvel show to come back, so now we get it. Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury, Skrulls. It's gonna be like a it's gonna be like a it's gonna be dark, it's gonna be gritty, it's gonna be like a espionage thriller. Like, I'm here for it, man. I'm getting excited, and that's Wednesday, so stay tuned, y'all, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Be safe, be well, peace.